Right, this video is for Neil from Newcastle, who collected his gearbox this morning. I've stripped down your exchange unit, Neil, and the first thing I noticed was the actual tail shaft. There's been some really bad vibration going on there, and it's been knocking and banging, obviously. I did chip some epoxy off of here, so that's either leaking, but anyway, that's scrap. That's got a hole in it there, look. So that certainly wouldn't have been making your engine run very well. The second thing I noticed with your tail shaft is one of the pins is missing. So I'm surprised that your gear lever wasn't playing up, because that pin there holds the gear linkage steady. So that was missing, and it also clips the bayonet on the other side. So that's the first little fault I found with it. So that tail shaft is scrap. Now moving on to the gearbox itself, your cluster gear, surprisingly enough, because you said it was making quite a lot of noise, that's okay, and that can be reused, as can all the gears. The gears seem to be fairly good, and I haven't cleaned them yet, but there's no obvious signs of chipped teeth, broken teeth or anything like that. We can come to the magnet in the bottom of your gearbox. Obviously there's going to be dross and swarf in there, so that's quite normal, but there is quite a lot of filings in there. So the selector shafts, they are surprisingly very good condition. They usually get wear down the back here, and again on that side, that's showing very little signs of wear at all, if any. You can see there's a little groove there just where the pin slides, but they're good to go. We need to clean it up, and same with the other one. There's no obvious signs of wear. We'll come to the Synchro hubs, and unsurprisingly, because I get this all the time, there's 2 broken springs on your first and second gear Synchro hub. That is average for the course, to be fair. Some have got 3, some have got 2. Incidentally, the spring that wasn't broken was stuck in. The ball bearing was actually stuck into the hub, so I had to heat that well up to get that out. So again, that would have not been helping your gear changes, but it wouldn't have been causing the excessive noises that you was hearing. What would have caused you some noise is the Synchro hub itself, the outer hub. There's quite a few chipped teeth on there, which again is unsurprising. That's a scrap one. Can you see there? There's chipped teeth there. So this wouldn't be used again in one of my gearbox rebuilds. You can see it's not unusual, but I wouldn't personally look. You can see when it's cleaned up, you can see a lot of damage. Mainly that's caused, Neil, by putting your car into reverse gear while it's still moving forward. So you don't want to be doing that. I did explain to you this morning the best way to do that, to avoid all that. Leave it in gear before you start in the morning. You know, warm it up, then stop the engine, put it in gear when it's nice and warm, and then drive off. It only takes you a couple of minutes, but it avoids all that unnecessary chipping. What else was I going to say? Yeah. Now, what could have caused you some noise was the lace shaft. You can see it doesn't appear to be very much, but you know, multiply that by going around at X number of revs. When the tail shaft bearings go, it just causes a little bit of extra vibration, and it does wear that shaft, which could account for a little bit of whining, but it's highly unlikely. Then we come on to the reverse idler, and again, it's not unusual to find these are absolutely shot. Yours isn't that bad, but it's too bad to reuse. I mean, it couldn't be reused. I'll get to the broken teeth. Look, there's a broken tooth there, chipped and broken, and that would account for all the dross on the magnet. Because yeah, every time you do that, move the car forward while it's still in gear, while it's in reverse, without stopping completely and putting it in neutral. Just wait. They're agricultural, these gearboxes, so yeah, just wait. Don't rush them into gear. Let them warm up, and then you'll find everything else will be all right. So that's the assessment of yours. The front bearing was making a little bit of noise, yeah, which again for a 50-year-old car is not unsurprising. So that there's nothing wrong with that, apart from the fact that I'll change the bearings and everything. So yeah, that's scrap. And overall, the rest of the gearbox is not in that bad a condition, but it does need a couple of parts replacing. So I hope that's helped to helped you figure out why your car was doing what it was doing, jumping out of gear. You didn't say it was jumping out of gear, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if it wasn't jumping out of first and second if you didn't have your hand on the linkage, on the gear stick. And with those with that pin, I'm pretty sure you would have had to drive it with that. You would have had to drive it, because the gear lever just wouldn't have been appropriately stuck in. Oh, look. Well, would you believe it, look. While I've been making this video, that piece has fell out of there. Now, can you believe that? That is absolutely unbelievable. Well, yeah, I thought I'd seen everything, but now I have. So anyway, Neil, thank you very much for your purchase, and I hope you have many happy years with the new gearbox. Thank you.